New Orleans blacked out as Ida floods Louisiana. Mississippi. Hurricane Ida became a tropical storm as its top winds slowed over Mississippi on Monday, 16 hours after blowing ashore in Louisiana as one of the most powerful hurricanes ever to strike the U.S. mainland. Ida pushed so much water into the mouth of the Mississippi that it traversed the flow of the mighty river and blacked out New Orleans, taking down backup electricity for the city's crucial pumping system. Torrential rain kept falling Monday as the storm slowly moved north, with up to 2 feet, 60 cms, expected in places, and reports of flooded roads and homes multiplied. Destructive winds and water already had a catastrophic impact along the southeast coast of Louisiana, and life-threatening river flooding continued well inland, the National Hurricane Center said. Ida made landfall on the same day 16 years earlier that Hurricane Katrina ravaged Louisiana and Mississippi, and its 150 miles per hour, 230 kilometers per hour, winds tied it for the fifth strongest hurricane to ever hit the mainland. It was already blamed for one death, someone hit by a falling tree in Prairieville, outside Baton Rouge, deputies with the Ascension Parish Sheriff's Office confirmed on Sunday. More than 1 million customers in Louisiana and Mississippi were without power according to outages nationwide, increasing their vulnerability to flooding and leaving them without air conditioning and refrigeration in sweltering summer heat. Entergy confirmed that the only power in New Orleans was coming from generators, the city's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness tweeted, citing catastrophic transmission damage. The city relies on Entergy for backup power for the pumps that send stormwater over the city's levees. The system is much improved since Katrina, but Ida is posing its biggest test since that disaster. The 911 system in Orleans Parish also experienced technical difficulties early Monday. Anyone needing emergency assistance was urged to go to their nearest fire station or approach their nearest officer, the New Orleans Emergency Communications Center tweeted. Ida finally became a tropical storm again 16 hours after making landfall in Louisiana as a Category 4 hurricane. Its top sustained wind were 60 miles per hour, 97 kilometers per hour, early Monday, and forecasters said it would rapidly weaken while still dumping torrential rain over a large area. The storm was centered about 95 miles, 155 kilometers, south-southwest of Jackson, Mississippi, moving north at 8 miles per hour, 13 kilometers per hour. The rising ocean swamped the barrier island of Grand Isle, and roofs on buildings around Port Fourchon blew off as Ida made landfall. The hurricane then churned through the far southern Louisiana wetlands, swirled over the state's petrochemical corridor, and threatened the more than 2 million people living in and around New Orleans and Baton Rouge. Officials said Ida intensified into an extremely powerful hurricane too quickly over the Gulf of Mexico to organize a mandatory evacuation of New Orleans' 390,000 residents. Many didn't have enough gas and hotel money, transportation or other resources needed to flee. Hospitals also had no choice but to hunker down, counting on generators to keep COVID-19 patients alive. In Baton Rouge, 27-year-old Robert Owens watched the sky in his neighborhood light up as transformers blew up all around him. Never in my life have I encountered something this major, he said as giant gusts rattled his home's windows. Significant flooding was reported late Sunday night in Laplace, a community adjacent to Lake Pontchartrain, meteorologists in New Orleans said. Many people took to social media, pleading for boat rescues as the water rose. Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards said rescue crews would not be able to immediately help those who were stranded as the storm raged. And he warned his state to brace for potentially weeks of recovery. Many people are going to be tested in ways that we can only imagine today, the governor told a news conference Sunday. But he added, there is always light after darkness, and I can assure you we are going to get through this. In New Orleans, wind tore up awnings and caused buildings to sway and water to spill out of Lake Pontchartrain. The Coast Guard office there received more than a dozen reports of breakaway barges, said Petty Officer Gabriel Wisdom. In Lafitte, about 35 miles, 55 kilometers, south of New Orleans, a loose barge struck a bridge, according to Jefferson Parish officials. And U.S. Army Corps of Engineers spokesman Ricky Boyette said engineers detected a negative flow on the Mississippi River as a result of storm surge